everybody too. we got the four cats in the house here today. Welcome to Wins and Lessons Friday, where we're going to talk about everything we did, what worked, what flopped, and what did we learn, and what can we do to move forward.
Welcome to the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly.
Well, there we go. Lisa's been like the champ for a
Seal
while
the deal,
now, Jeff.
Lisa.
So, you know what? Now that Jeff's on the phone, Jeff, what is like? Did you just you take an extra nap in the morning, or are you just going for an extra long walk, or like what's the deal? Because you guys were all over each other, and now I got to be honest, she's slaughtering you.
Yeah, I deserve it. I deserve it. Yeah, you know, when you get to this age, you have to take those naps.
That was good.
You get the reminders at 8:55. Sales chatters going live to your computer. Damn, I gotta
Shout
get
out to
there.
your daughter, by the way. I see that post. I'm taking your first win of the week. This mysterious daughter, she's like killing it. Good. I got to hear more.
Mysterious daughter.
Yeah, I've never even heard about her.
I don't have a daughter.
She's killing it. I'm like, what? This is awesome. So
yeah, she's something else, man. I'll tell you what. You know, she puts her cap on and she wants to get something done, man. She does it. She just does it. And then she just went to Oklahoma. She drove from Arkansas because she wanted to go to this high-performance diesel place in Oklahoma. She goes, Dad, I'm down here. I'm going to get my trucks worked on. I was like,
she is so
that's a sweet ride she just picked up.
Right.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Nice. It's nice. It's nice. I hope she gets in the hot shot business, man. I really do. She's going to kill it. She's got some really good equipment. So
Good for her. Good for her. I love watching people excel like that and just crush it and just have an idea. And you know, it goes back to when we get these ideas, how quick we are to say, "Oh, it won't work," instead of trying it. You never know. I mean, listen, I've tried a bunch of ideas. A lot didn't work. A lot worked. But I don't think idea formation is like gambling. You know, like gambling, you only typically hear about the people's wins and, oh man, I won 10 grand last day. Yeah, but last week you lost 30. So you're still down. You know what I mean? And I think if we, in life, if we just continually try that next thing that comes to our mind, because I do believe in full life that we get these ideas for a reason. And it's what we do with them that matters, right? You guys know I'm very big on, okay, what's the action you took on whatever it is, on the adversity, on the challenge. And it's good to see that somebody's going out there and saying, yeah, why not? I'll try it. Let's get into it. Let's do it. Yes. I'm all in. Let's do it.
I love that. So, yes, absolutely.
And I don't think it matters the competition in the market. Like if you truly have a passion for something, the competition in the market almost steps aside.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Like you look at it in our business, right? If you have a passion for what it is you're going after, the product you want to move, it's like all doors open. A business partner and friend of mine sent this email out to an energy drink, like a pre-workout company. And guys, I'm telling you right now, it was the best email I've seen probably in my career. And as soon as I read the email, I said, within a week, he's going to be doing business. And like the doors, the red tape, everything just disappeared. And it's like, whoosh, it's like this super highway. We were just talking about Teslas and superchargers. He plugged in a 700-volt battery, just like, bang, let's go. We're in ludicrous mode. And like, I guarantee by the end of next week, he's got business. Like from introduction to close.
What was specific about the email? What was
it was the biggest thing about the email was you felt how proud and how much he cherished and honored the product. Like immediately, like it was literally email, pictures, email. Oh, by the way, I'm in logistics. Can we? It was the perfect setup, and it was truly from the heart. It was like, you know, I love your product. Like, you know, whether we do business or not, I'm going to continue to use this product because it's the best thing on the market. And I wish I could tell the world about it. And it was like, and you're reading it. It's like, damn, I want to go buy that. Like it was
Right.
like that good. And it was
Yeah.
all because it came from his heart. And
Mhm.
it came from the fact that this product changed him. You know, how many times on this show have we said, guys, if you're just getting in this business, go start chasing something you love. Like, what product do you use? What product do you love? And you know, the pizzazz one story that I tell you guys all the time with the F1 race wash and wax,
Yeah.
it was the same thing. Like, from conversation to close was less than a week. And I'm telling you, like, I mean, I know people out there are going to say, well, I'm closing deals in less than a week. Yeah, you are, because of money. Like, if you're $400 cheaper, then you're going to close a deal in very little time because people are looking at save. But we're talking long-term sustainability. And the awesome thing is in the email, he threw a bunch of qualifying statements in, like, if this is what you believe in. And it was like, oh, this dude just killed it. Like, he just rocked it, man. It was awesome. Awesome. I've been telling everybody I speak with about that
like
email.
that.
Like,
Yeah, you know what?
Awesome.
Right. And you know something? When you can feel that emotion in an email, it speaks volumes. I mean, because you know, I love speaking to people on the phone. You know, email to me isn't justification because you don't get that chance to hear that tone and that emotion in that voice and that love and that passion and that drive. But when you can put that on paper, gold. It's more than gold, because you can imagine what that conversation is going to be like when you do get that person on the phone. It's going to be great.
And you know, it's funny because you start thinking of a lot of the other accounts or a lot of the other things you're chasing, and if you go back and you take that passion, that energy, that excitement, that just like infectious joy that you bring other people, like when you're really passionate about something, and then you go and look some of your other emails, it's like, oh, geez, did I ever screw the pooch on that one?
Well, I definitely didn't want that.
It was like, man, that wasn't what I was thinking I was getting across. Oh, when you write, you're like, damn, I'm a wordsmith, man. I should write a book. This is great stuff. And then you go back and read it like 2 days later, you're like, I'm a complete moron. I can't believe I actually sent that out to somebody.
I do. I've had those. So those experiences happen a lot. Like I could write an email to that. In fact, I think it was even this week, like 2 or 3 times. I'll write something, and I'll just be called away from the desk. Like one of the dogs might be barking, for example. And just in that split moment of then coming back, and I look at this email and I'm like, right, okay, where was I? I'm like, I wrote this shit. Oh my God. Like, I was going to send that. Like, so then I'm thanking my dog for like, needing to have a pee. And then I look
and the
back
dog's
at somebody.
Like, you got a treat? You have a treat?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just helped you out. And then I look at some of those emails from like the early days, and I'm like, wow, no wonder like nobody wanted to take us seriously, because it was, if you printed those out, they would like, there's enough paper there to prevent that wobbly table in the hallway from like wobbling ever again, right? It's like, this is what we can do. This is how great we are. This is why you should use us. And by the way, here's 1,000 products that we can like put in your face. You know, when I get those emails, I don't even get past the subject line. I'm deleting them. So like when I look at my communications that go out now, not saying they're perfect, but they're definitely way more condensed and trying to be a little bit more punchy, which is what I was interested in, you know, what he had. What he had.
So Mark, on that topic, can you share with the audience kind of what you do, your process for starting an email, creating it, writing it, and then reviewing it? Can you share? Because I think that's, especially in today's world, like, how many people do we actually get on the phone, right, when we're selling, right? Like, reality is, how many people? So we're DMing through LinkedIn, we're DMing through Instagram, Facebook, like all these other social media platforms. We're sending emails through lead gen tools. We're putting out posts. We're doing all this, which is all text, right? Maybe video, but text. So what is, maybe we should start, guys, wins and lessons. What's the biggest lesson you learned on composing emails?
Well, often I'm trying to get across in a very, very short couple of sentences who we are, what we do, how we do it, why we do it. Or actually, it's more the other way around, like why we do it and how we do it. And I think the before I start any writing, I need to have an understanding of the company, of the individual that I'm writing to as well as their position within the company. So I'll always use LinkedIn to get a sense of like, what's this individual posted? what are they into, how do they write, which gives me an indication to like how I think they're going to want to be written to as well. And if there's, I think as with any kind of conversation, you're trying to hook them in, right? So if they've posted on a particular subject, then and I believe in what they've written, or if I can identify with what they've posted about, then I'll use that as my hook. I was like, okay, so you just said about, you know, ABC post XYZ. I identify with that, I agree with it, and then we can move into the passage from there. If I can't find that, then I'm not going to like bullshit and say, oh, I saw your post and it was absolutely awesome, and I really do love the fact that you believe in child labor, put kids I have a 9-year-old and I constantly keep him under the deck. I think that's just you know, so like we're not gonna, if we don't believe in it, we're not gonna say it. And I see Lisa's just posted it, less is more. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you noticed that. You hit it on the head when you even said that, Mark. I think I used to do that too, and I was just vomit of the mouth on an email. You want to pick one hot topic, one thing that you do well, and then find a couple pain points that it fixes, and I think that's the key.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll just run through some comments here because they're starting to pile up. But Lisa says, "Great job raising her, Jeff." And that's true, man. You did good. You did. Scott says, "Good morning, Scott. Freight Sensei. What's happening, brother?" Become raving fans. Yes, that's it. And yes, babe, Chad Petty. Yes, sir. Dude, awesome email, brother. And I know he's probably sick of me talking about it because every time we talk, I'm like, dude, I can't get over how awesome that email is. But yeah, great to be part of this, Wabi. Great to have you here, my friend.
Thanks for being part of it.
And then, yeah, Lisa says less is more, and it really is. You know, when you look at what like John Brewer said, what you look at like Tony said, what you look at Greg said, it's like just, you know, engage me in some way. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I probably get 4 or 5 DMs from LinkedIn a day. Hey, we do this, and this. You know, I looked at your website and you'd be perfect for it. And I look at the website they looked at. I'm like, I haven't touched that website in 5 years.
Yeah.
Like I probably should take it down, but thanks for reminding me because I'm paying for the URL, which I haven't used in 5 years. So you just saved me, you know, $27 a year. But it's like,
yeah,
I've had conversations. Actually, I've taken a few calls, and we start talking, and they're like, "Okay, yeah." So this website, I'm like, "Oh gosh, no, you're probably 7 years behind." Now, my bad because it's up, but you would think you'd go to like watch one of these shows or do something of that nature to get a little bit more in my world to say, okay, well, hold on, that website that's up there doesn't really match what he's talking about now. So maybe we got to, you know, work that message in a different way. So I like the fact what you do there, Mark, where you kind of go to LinkedIn and you, for lack of a better term, you stalk them.
100% stalking.
They're going to stalk. They're going to stalk you. They're going to look at your stuff.
I'm going to buy the house next door and I'm just going to camp out on their lawn. Like, that's how far we want to go, you know? Yeah. But to that point, and so the reason why we do that, it's not just me, my business partner as well. Like, that's the reason why we do that. We're just not interested in dialing for dollars. Like many of our competitors, right? They'll start A in the phone book, and it's like, hey, do you have any international payments? No. Do you have any international payments? No. Do you have any international payments? Oh, you do. Well, I know fuck all about your company, but let me tell you about my value proposition. Whereas we'd much rather do the hard graft. So we don't make anywhere near, like these companies, they'll make 150 phone calls a day per person. And they might have a sales team of like 50 to 100 individuals doing that. We're just 2 people. We might be making like 3 or 4 phone calls a day. So, but at least when we are getting in touch with individuals, we've done the research and we can demonstrate that we at least have an idea of what the company is about. And we can make some very good assumptions about some of the issues that they might be facing, many of which they don't even know as well. So yeah, we're happy to do that. These bots that send me emails, these LinkedIn posts on a daily basis, I don't even know. I should look into it. If I could report that as spam coming through LinkedIn, I absolutely would. But it drives me nuts when it starts off with, "Hey, Mark, so as a mortgage broker, you could do with blah 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 blah." I'm like, dude, there's nowhere on my site that talks about mortgages. We don't even touch mortgages. I don't even know what a mortgage is. So like it drives me nuts.
That's so funny you brought that up, Mark. Just this week, I think I got 3 of those emails, and I'm like, or messages, and I'm like, I don't even do this. Like, what are you looking at?
So it actually comes down to a couple of things. So from somebody who's actually done that, because I had to test it for my business, I was using a service called Duck Soup. And what Duck Soup does is you create a query either in Navigator or in regular LinkedIn, and you on that page there's a little Chrome extension. You hit that extension, you hit connect, and it goes through and actually starts sending all of the messages or connecting with them. Like you can do a whole message campaign and everything in it. And when I first heard about it, I was like, this is awesome, because I can physically be setting up posts and doing graphics and videos and all that, while an AI is starting to connect with people. I'm like, dude, I'm doubling and tripling my output here. We're good. But what I found was you would do a query, and even if you're doing like a Boolean search, I don't know if you guys know how to do Boolean searches in LinkedIn, but it's a way to refine a query more often. And so I was doing Boolean searches, and what was happening is, like, I was selecting VP of sales and logistics, but then there would be like VP of sales in a software, VP of sales. And so it was missing a few things. So I'd have 800 people that I'd want to go out to, and probably 100 of them. So what you actually have to do, if any of you are using those systems, because listen, they're out there and people are making millions of dollars a year, a month, even creating these systems, and people are using them. So let's, call a spade a spade. They are being used. And I've received some messages that I know were bots, but I'm like, hey, that's pretty interesting. Let's have a call. I'm willing to invest 15 minutes in a conversation to see if it's going to be worth it for my business now or in the future. So there are certain things. But if you are using a system like Duck Soup, do yourself a favor. Go in, create a list, and walk through each of the prospects and add them to a list. Then go to that list page and tell the system to do that list. Because the thing is, I believe anyways, and maybe I'm completely wrong in this, I'd love your guys' thoughts. You can reach 100 people, but when you reach 5 people that aren't in your community, that can cause more damage to your brand than you've ever thought imaginable, because they'll tell 5 people. How many times have we seen people post on LinkedIn saying, I got this message from this person, and it doesn't even suit me. Come on, guys, start being authentic in your connection, right? So I do think that hasn't. Yeah, and I mean, listen, guys, call a spade a spade. Remember the time when my whole email, like every one of my emails got shut down because they were like, well, you sent out, and I'm like, oh my God, I got hacked, and like 5,000 emails went out, and I'm like, oh my God. But it teaches you a lesson. You're like, okay, I gotta turn down that automation a little bit, just a little. But I mean, I went from 5,000 to like 500, so that's 4,500 less people a day that I connect with. And I thought, volume, top of funnel, like really, when you think about it, if I get my message in front of 15,000 people, and even 5% say, hey, I'm in, let's book a meeting. What if I get in front of 30,000 people and 5%, 40,000? Well, I'm doing what I'm doing. They're doing that, and these things are doing that. DJ brought up a point. Him and I were talking yesterday before the show, because I said I just read a report that Elon backed out of Twitter's the bid for Twitter, and DJ was like, yeah, because it's like 40% bots or something on the system, and it's like, and what was it, like Biden's followers were like 60% bots.
They figured out like Biden's followers were like actually realistically half are bots, half are bots.
So I mean, it's there was another person that came out and said that I was talking to in the digital marketing world a couple of years ago. And she was looking at creating, because the whole follower thing, right? Like, I got 1.2 million followers. I must be a pretty amazing individual. But when you start looking at that, a lot of people do campaigns to get followers in like Indonesia and all these other countries where it costs like less than a penny per follower, as opposed to North America. So she actually uncovered and went into these people's profiles and figured out where most of their people were. And she actually brought it to market and said, like, listen, I'll help you create campaigns that get real people that are actually going to buy stuff for businesses. I'm talking as your followers. And she's killing it doing that because she realized here's a gap, right? So wins and lessons is dive in deeper. The win is you might actually have a business strategy that works. And she's generating probably 20 grand a month now with clients, just Like just creating campaigns, running them on their behalf, and helping them create their digital campaigns to increase their followership and their viewership.
Wow.
Killer,
Yeah.
killer. But just
Wow.
because she stopped and said, how is it possible that you go from, 100,000 followers to like 9 weeks later, 1.4 million? Let's investigate, right? And you can go in and you can see, like with Facebook especially, you can go into the backside of Facebook and see all the ads your competitors are running and all that kind of stuff. So, you kind of look and say, okay, this one's been running for 4 months. So it's obviously a good ad, because typically the lifespan of an ad in the digital world is like 2 to 3 weeks now, where it used to be 3 to 4 months. 2 to 3 weeks, the ad dies. You got to keep recreating. You got to keep those creative juices going. So it's interesting, but big lesson there. Don't just look at the superficial front end. Dive in.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
So we have. So I have not received a lane of the day yet today from Dad. So I can't. Yeah, I know, and I know there was. I know there. Yeah, I still don't have it. I still don't have it.
Well, while you're looking for that, you've just reminded me that. I feel like I was one of the early adopters of LinkedIn. I know it launched about 20 odd years ago, so I probably got onto it about 15 years ago. I remember getting 50 friends on LinkedIn and be like, "Yeah, I've got 50 people that are connected to," and I'm like, and my colleagues around me are like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "I don't know, but 50 people know me," and it's like,
if I die tomorrow, 50 more people are at my funeral.
Exactly, yeah. or 50 more people who are confused about what the hell LinkedIn can really do for them, as I was back then as well.
Yeah. And to get back to what Mark was saying about the emails, one thing that I learned a long time ago, especially being in logistics, is that you can get pretty emotional depending upon what had happened. And I used to put all those emotions into an email. And my boss said something to me. He says, something, when you're pissed off, take a look at the email, get away from your desk, walk away, come back, and what you wrote, you'll say, holy shit, I'm not sending this, man. I'm going to lose a customer. So the toughest part about, having your own business and having a partner down in St. Augustine, Florida, is that there's nobody to go over your emails. So you really got to sit there and really look at what you're writing and take your time and just don't fire off. So it's
that's an interesting point, though, Jeff. Like, if you are in that situation, I think the three of us, and I know there'll be others, if you ever wanted to fire off a draft to us and say, like, would you be offended if you got that? Or what do you think? Like, we could bounce these things off of each other like all day long.
Yeah, but absolutely. But what I write to you, Mark, I'm not changing.
Well, you know what? So here, guys, if you guys are okay, I'd like to do this. So I just asked Chad if I can actually open his email and share it with you guys.
Yeah.
So I'd love to do that. So
yes,
are you guys okay if I just do that for a second? Okay.
Go for it.
So let me see if I do this properly. So this is
some random guy.
Yeah. No, that's Chad. So
what a
I just don't know how to find it again. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So here's how he starts it. Hey, Vince, my name is Chad. I'm a huge fan of Pre-Gym and I use it daily. I consistently notice mental and physical benefits each day and have become a raving fan. You see that hook? That's like one of the best hooks ever. If you are actually working at this company and use it and like distribute this product, is that not a really cool hook for you? I mean, I love it. Whether I feel like working at it or not, it's always easy to mix up a delicious Pre-Gym. Making it a consistent daily beverage have served me in being ruthlessly committed to my physical routine and sustainable results. Like, secondary hook, insane. This picture was taken in January 21, and the second one was taken today. I'm still on my journey of achieving my best body and greatest health, and will continue fueling my workouts with Pre-Gym. Okay, so everybody watching, listening, not a single thing about I am awesome, I could do this, I could do that. All about their product, all about hook after hook after hook. Then adds in what he looked like in January and what he looks like today. Like, do you guys see that transformation? That is friggin' insane.
Where'd the mustache go?
Yeah, well, no, he didn't want it anymore. So then he says, and here's the thing is right after he hooks them, 3, if you guys notice, so again, we go back to the beginning, 4 hooks in that first 2 sentences.
It's a great
Yeah,
That's
one.
money, Chad.
Unreal.
I love it.
Unreal. Like Chad, unreal, brother. And then he says, oh, also I'm in logistics and I'm a valuable resource to many companies. But here's the thing. So now he's like, oh my God. Now he goes in, he says, I'm a valuable resource to companies who value relationships and see me as a resource for their shipping needs. You want to talk about a better qualifying statement? That's the one right there. I love being a solution for brands, and I use, and more importantly, the ones that have made an everlasting impact in my life. Holy crap, another hook right after he adds in the qualifying statement. I would love to be an opportunity to be a logistics resource for gym supplement science. Will you connect with me? With the logistics department so I can see if we are a good fit? Again, another qualifying. Your stuff is awesome, but I got to see if we're a good fit, right?
Yeah.
And then I look forward to your direction. And Chad, I love that because you just threw that totally back in their court. So that was the email I've been raving about for a couple of days.
Great job, Chad.
Said, I mean, awesome, right? Everybody give it up to Chad. Give it up for Chad.
Yes.
And he just says, look at that hot bod, Chad. Man.
Yeah. I got to get that.
We're on live. We're live.
Are we doing a topless one next week, just the 4 of us, or how's it going? I just want
to. No.
I'll just take the camera and put it from here up. That's all. There you go. You guys will never know. But yeah. But I mean, talk about a really cool setup on the email. And here's the thing: the emails back and forth. I won't share them because I asked Chad to share the first one. But the emails back and forth, gents. I mean, it's like you put if you're talking about pulling people through your funnel, you've just hooked them up to the biggest winch ever. And it's like on hyper speed because the way I'm seeing it unfold, like within literally 3 emails, it's like, let's schedule a call, let's talk, and let's get some business going is literally the last sentence of the email. Like, it's like, okay, whoa, one email, one well-written email.
But think about what here's what I see. Here's what I see from what he did, though. I mean, he took the greatest way to find his avatar, his ICP, his ideal customer profile, and just say, here, if you love your company as much as I love your company, then we need to talk. If that person he was talking to didn't love their company, like some of our great customers that I would love, John, Greg, those guys, they all love what they do. Clearly, this person loves his message, what he's doing, loves that he loves their company, understands the value of that, and said, okay. I mean, that's There's no better way to do it than that.
Every email that's come back, it says, what a transformation. Yes, I want to talk to you. And here's the thing. I've always believed, and Jeff, you were on that side of the fence. So I'd love your thoughts on this. I've always believed if you have a supplier, a logistics supplier that truly believes in your product and what the value your product brings to the market, they will always make the right decision to keep your brand up front and center. Yeah. That's my belief. Now, Jeff, you've seen it firsthand. So is that reality or no?
Yes, to a certain degree, not all the time, because it's like finding a needle in a haystack. Because not all service providers operate the same way or think the same way. So, just like you solicit prospects and everything, you have to do the same thing when you're on the other side. When you go out to carriers, what they believe in, who do they work for? What's their niche? Do you fall in the same bucket as we work in? Because if you find them, it's going to benefit you tons. I mean, they know the operations. They've worked like for the automobile industry, right? They've worked for competitors. They know the lines. They know what it entails and all that. Those are the kind of guys that you want working for them because it's just a complete easy push, from one to the next. But then when you bring somebody in that you want to take a chance and you don't know them, now you have to re-educate them. They have to teach them the operations, a lot of time and money. It doesn't necessarily mean that all that time, all that money and effort that you put into it, that they're going to come up, good on the other side, because they could fail tremendously, and that could be a complete waste. But that's the chances that you have to take if you believe in something.
Yeah, I love it, and I think it's it's so true. So true. Like everything we do, we want people involved that believe and see the higher value in what we do, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I know sometimes people say, well, Dan, it's pretty hard to get excited or think packaging is sexy. I get it, right? Like, because it's like, well, do I love packaging? Oh my God, that packaging is so awesome, right? Like, but then again, you see some packaging like, dude, this packaging is like the shiznit, right? Did I just say shiznit live? Oh my God.
You did.
You did. I like it.
I totally went
I'm gonna write that word down.
Yo mofos. But think about it, right? Like, like Tetra Pak, for example, in Texas, right? They make the juice boxes, right? So how do you get excited about juice boxes? Well, you get excited because, you know what? My son dropped his lunch down the stairs, and if there was a jar bottle in there, it would have smashed, and I would have had a huge accident. I love the fact that I could throw these things at my kids when they're not behaving, and it doesn't hurt them, doesn't leave a mark for child services to come after me. And then, I know that's kind of a really, I'm trying to be funny, but, I don't know if I actually said that. I'll probably get in trouble, but you guys know what I'm saying, right?
Mark's dying over there. Mark's dying.
Like, Mark,
That should be their slogan. Throw it at kids. Throw it at kids. Don't get arrested.
Your kids, they won't get hurt, but buy her a product.
Yeah. The bruises will never be noticeable. It's like using a phone book instead of a billy bat. You know what I mean?
You're bringing back some childhood memories for me.
I know. Can you tell what kind of childhood I had?
Yeah, you were on the receiving side, Mark, right?
Yeah.
Oh, brother, I still remember a time when my brother and I messed up pretty good. And my dad says, go to my room. I'll be there in a minute. My dad used to walk in and he would fold his belt in half and then do it like this. So it created this like loop and go snap. And that sound was like, oh my God. And I remember my brother and I didn't get spanked very often. And for all you watching and listening, this isn't child abuse. This is what happened when I was a kid. People got hit. When I was a kid, I got hit with rulers from teachers in school. Like, y'all are in a bubble today. Let me tell you that. But So my brother and I are in my parents' bedroom. We're looking at each other, and I go, "How are we gonna like?" He goes, "You know what?" My brother says, "You know what? Let's put a pillow in our pants. He'll never know." Because he used to just spank us above the pants, right? I'm like, "Oh, that's a great idea." Like how my booty went from this to this. He'll never see that. Never. I remember my brother and I are stuffing pillows down our pants, and my dad comes walking in, and you got half the pillow sticking out. You kind of look at him like you're caught in the act, and he looks at both of us. And he just starts laughing. He goes, forget about it. He turns around and leaves. And I'm like,
that's the same thing. I don't get the same thing.
Yeah, that's the power of laughter. I'm like, Ted, we could do anything we want. We just got to make him laugh when he comes in. And my brother's like, yeah, I don't know if that plan will work out in the long run, Dan. You just maybe just take it, accept it for today as what it is. But yeah, wow, that's just a memory that just flew back in my head when you said that. That was cool. We went awesome. Long. We only got to really one lesson, but I think the lesson on email is key. And Chad says, and this is Chad. So he says, we have a Zoom meeting set up for Thursday. So think about this for a second. Within 7 days, they're already at the meeting process, like full on meeting process. And I can guarantee you, Chad, just as sure it's going to get dark tonight, that conversation is probably going to be 5% business, 95% something else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm curious
after that discount into that stuff if you like it.
What'd you say, Mark?
I'm curious as to how he came up with that structure, because it sounds like that was the first time he sent out an email of that quality. I'm not saying like of that quality. I mean, like with those hooks and using those products. I'm just curious how he came up with that, because that's, it's phenomenal.
Oh, definitely. I'll ask him. And Chad, I know you're still on there, Chad. And if you can, just maybe share with the audience. We got a couple of minutes. Maggie says, if it'll work. I love how it shows his dedication to his life. And you know what, Maggie? You're so right. Like, it's not just I use your product and it's super cool. It's like, I use your product and this is how it's changed. And this is the mindset and this is the shift that it did. And it's like, it goes so deep on so many levels when you're talking about human psychology. Like Chad, I honestly don't know if you realize how deep that email will go when somebody reads it. Like, and I think for most of us, when we write, we don't really realize the depths as to which our words matter.
Yeah.
I really don't think we do. I don't think as humans, the odd time, yes, we might put super, like, huge intention into emails, the odd time. But I don't think we do it all the time. And my question then becomes, when we do it, we see how quick these, like, everything moves and everything, like, is gangbusters. Why would we not, like, set up some kind of habit, some kind of trigger to set that intention with every single word? You guys have often heard me say an intention with every interaction.
Mm-hmm.
What about an intention with every word?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see, put two people beside each other, intention with every word, and just move forward, how fast this person gets ahead. I mean, I don't know if anyone knows of any studies out there that have been that. I would love to read the research on that, because I can almost guarantee it would crush it.
So just to like more of a throwaway comment,
There
my
it
wife
is.
is actually
That's what I figured the answer
There
was
it
going
is.
to be. I hoped it was Chad.
You know what? Thank you, Chad. Inception was a great resource that changed my mindset from wanting customers.
That's where I was going. So it's you, Dan.
To not needing customers. Yes.
There we go.
Back to what Mark spoke about earlier, meaning less is more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, my wife is actually a writer.
Good takeaway.
So you would think that I should be way better in my communications, but my wife is such an excellent communicator that I tend to not show her my written communications because I don't want to feel shit about myself. And so I end up just doing, I don't use what is probably the globally best resource that's available, and it's in my house. And I choose proactively not to use it. And the reason being is because each and every email would take me several years to punch out, because my wife, she's 100% right. Words matter. Communication matters. And that's why we don't often talk a lot, because I might say, oh yeah, I'm feeling good. And she's like, well, but what does that mean? What? I'm just feeling happy. Yeah, but what's fundamentally making you happy? I don't know. I didn't stub my toe on the bed when I got out. Yeah, but why didn't you this time? I'm like, I don't know. Now I'm not happy. You okay? Now I'm not happy. Like,
I think I heard my mom calling. I gotta go.
So like, she's an excellent communicator, and I'm often embarrassed to show her some of the stuff. So I just blindly do it and say, yeah, it was a good call today. You had a really good call. I had a great email that went out today. Mm-hmm. And then she says, like, did you get any replies? No, not yet. They're probably busy.
I feel there. My wife is the best communicator I've ever met in my life. And same thing. And when I really write a really good email and I know it's good, I'll show it. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. But, otherwise, no, because I'm all like about abbreviations and straight to the point, and just like slim it down to the minor, hey, do you believe in this, this, and this? If you do, I want to talk to you. If not, have a great day. Let's move on. Right. Like, let's move on. Right.
There have been a couple of times. So I'll write the pieces for our site. I'll write our thought leadership pieces. And every now and again, I'll be like, I just want to throw that in. I will throw that in front of her. And then she'll come back with, and I'll throw like 2 or 3 pieces. And she's like, where'd you get this from? Like, well, I just, stuff I know, I just like put it down. She's like, where did you take it from though? Like, nowhere. She's like, this is actually pretty good. So when she says it's pretty good, you're on all right. But it's the face.
Even with the actually doesn't throw you off, or you're like,
well, no, that's it.
To be bad?
It does. And it's the facial expression as well, which is like, you did this? I'm like, yeah. I did have half a brain like once in a blue moon. It's like, you think I'm a complete idiot?
When I'm not throwing juice boxes at the kid and stuff, I can come up with some creative stuff.
That reminds me, I've got to go because he's still under the deck from earlier on, so I better let him out, I suppose.
Awesome. So Chad, thank you. He says, Dan and Lisa have been a great resource for me from going from quality businesses that have brands I want. Awesome, brother. And you know what? Thank you. Thank you. So sorry we didn't get a lane. I'm keep looking at my email to see if we can get a lane of the day before we go. I should have
Yeah, I
sent it
didn't
to
get
Dean
anything
beforehand, but yeah. So DJ, 10 minutes behind schedule, but you
Yep.
know what? It's Friday, buddy. It's a beautiful day out here. We
That's
got a
all
great
right.
weekend
Yeah,
coming up.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful things
Yes.
happening, amazing things happening. I had some things I wanted to share today, but you know what? I'd rather leave the show on a really awesome note and not necessarily share it at the moment. So maybe I'll share it on Monday with you guys. Just about the upcoming. Fuck it, let's do it. So over the past couple of weeks, I know for many of you daily listeners, I've been kind of in and out. So there's been some things that have come up, and they found a tumor in my throat. It's called oral pharynx cancer, I think. Found out last week it's stage 3, so it's non-life threatening. However, the road for the next 7-8 weeks is going to be a pretty bumpy one, from what I understand. So originally we were looking at surgery, but it goes right from the soft palate down around into my tonsil, down to my tonsil, right below the drainage from my ear and into my voice box. So if we do surgery, I would have to learn how to speak again. And you never know, I might come out talking like Michael Jackson or something. I don't know how my voice would change. Sorry, I just try and throw comedy into the mix because
I appreciate it.
It's the only thing that keeps my head straight. But so the next couple of weeks are going to be set with doctor's appointments and chemo and radiation and all these other, amazing things that come. Very good news is they did scans and it's only a tumor in my neck. Another piece of good news is I'm going to get 3 dots on my neck, 3 tattoo dots on my neck, so I can claim that as the people at 187 in the streets, gangster. We can go gangster with that a little bit, but so the next couple of weeks, Jeff's been gracious enough to say anytime that I need support, he will step in and host the show with DJ.
Absolutely.
So the main reason I'm sharing this with all of you is that the value in this show is going to continue. No matter what happens, the value in the show is going to we're going to continue to bring you things like emails like chat, real world experiences that are working, and hopefully take those examples and move forward. And then of course you guys are going to kind of come on my journey with me over the next couple of weeks. And the lesson from this, my friends, is you really realize how much people really love you. And I don't think sorry, I'm choking up here a bit. I don't think as humans going through our daily lives, we realize how important the people closest to us are, and how important when things happen that people rally around you. And there's a woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? And I don't wish what I'm about to go through on my worst enemy, but I wish I would have had this feeling a decade and a half, 2 decades ago, because I can tell you, the next year of my life, I will probably have more traction and get further ahead than the last 30 years of my life. Because when these things happen, we realize what's really important. For years, I've been saying, design your life, design your life, design your life. Well, I thought I've been designing mine. The reality is I've been, and when we start going through this and you start looking at, okay, and again, so I'm getting all different people telling me all different things about the radiation. Some people are telling me that I got to really be careful about my teeth because it could knock all my teeth out. Some people are saying I'm going to have blisters and swells around my neck. I'm going to lose all my hair back here. I'm going to everybody. And then other people are like, no, man, I did it and everything was fine. So we have no idea how my body's going to react. On August 3rd, they're putting in a feeding tube just in case my throat swells to the point where I can't eat. And when you're hearing all of these things, it sounds really scary, right? It's like, I can't tell you how many tears have been shed going, holy shit. Are you serious? I really have to go through. It's to a point where I'm like, no, forget it. I'm not doing that. No. I'm not going through all it. You don't know. We don't know until we get into it. Right. So the lesson again, you don't know what adversity you're going to face until you get into it. Do not wait till tomorrow. Whatever you think you can do and whatever you want to do, you go out and goddamn well do it today, because you never know what tomorrow brings. And again, it's non-life threatening. So it's not like it's this, my last will and testament here, but it's something that hits you so hard, dead center of your forehead, like a hammer. And when it does, it changes you. And, you guys probably notice the last few conversations, it's challenge changes you, and this is leading up to what I'm about to go through. And it's I can tell you the biggest obstacle I have is right here. I mean, insane, gentlemen, insane how this just, excuse my language, completely fucks with you. So for all you watching and listening, I honor all of you for going out there and doing everything you can every day to be more, do more, and achieve more. We honor you for watching the show. I'm sorry, it was a really fun show. I don't mean to end it on such a serious note, but it's all good. It's all good. If any of you ever want to talk, or if any of you are anything, I'm here. DM me. I'm available anytime.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Seriously, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to have necessarily the last word, but one of the things that I've learned from you, Dan, over the last 18 months is the power of positivity. I'm not a religious person by any stretch, and I don't think I ever will be, but like the power of positive thought, the way that you approach your life, your personal life and your business life is one such that it's going to be successful. And so when you mentioned this to me recently, I almost shrugged it off as being, yeah, that's just Dan's just going to get over that. So just crack on, because that is who you are as a human to me anyway, versus I think sometimes the way that I think, like I would just be sitting in the corner crying and just like licking my wounds. You, on the other hand, are like, look, I've got a job to do. I've still got a family to support, and I'm going to get through this. Like, I think your approach to this is a lesson, I think.
Well,
not in just this, but in so many things.
Every morning when my eyes open, all I want to do is go sit in the corner. So, and that's what I'm saying, up here. And again, and here's the thing is this is why this 6 inches fucks with us so much. I have no idea. I really don't. I'm young. I'm healthy. I'm besides the one pack that I got, I'm a fairly healthy individual. Like by all means, I don't have a 6-pack like Chad, but I'm a fairly healthy individual. I typically, like, I'm a big physical labor kind of guy. I do everything, most of the things on my own when it comes to physical labor. But that's what I'm saying to everyone is this is the culprit, because yeah, sure, every time I swallow, it kills. Am I taking painkillers? Yes, because I can't stand the pain anymore. It feels like I got a chisel in my head and I've got a pair of vice grips on my jaw and somebody's choking every second of every day. So at a certain point, that starts messing with you, right? And it's all of you. It's my family. It's my wife, my children, my extended family, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, and all these people that have just rallied and said, like, no, we got you, man. Like, even last weekend, my brother-in-law was like, okay, what do we got to do? And we had like 4 people, and we were SWAT team in the backyard and all the construction, because there's like, for me, no matter what I'm going through, if I'm not happy with that result, no matter what, I'm going to continue to go at it. I'm like a badger, right? I'm just going to keep digging at it until I get to to whatever I need it. So it's but if any of y'all are having those negative, like, I can't do this, I can't do that, just like get up and get moving. And it's truly, it is. And it's 90% of life, your brain will screw with you. Like who thought, okay, so think of it like this, right? And I know this is probably a way whacked out philosophy, but think of it like this. Who thought a businessman can be more successful at space travel than NASA? Right? The reality is SpaceX is there. Like when reality, think about that for a second. And then I know it's like, oh my God, well, it's Elon and PayPal and all this crap. But if you think about where these people actually came from, and get rid of the fact of their fame today, but where they came from, and for lack of a better term, and I don't mean this any ill way, but the balls they had to step out into the market and say, let's do it. Like, that's huge. And that's the risk versus reward. And sometimes things aren't going to pan out, right? Like it is what it is. I would love to say that no matter what, I'm going to do the show every day. But there might be days where I wake up and I'm like, I just, I might not be able to, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So we are preparing for all of that, with Jeff graciously coming in and saying, dude, I got you. We got it, man. Like, nothing's going to change for the audience. And the biggest thing for me is the value still gets delivered every day, all day long. The replays and everything. Like, that for me is one of the biggest things. Like, that's why I did it from from the car on the way to the hospital last week, right? Like we're going to do what we need to do to bring y'all value, because this is what Sales Chatter is all about. This is why we created the show, was for you guys to change the life that you know now, to develop and design a career that suits your lifestyle and gives you everything you've ever wanted in life. That's why we created this show.
Yes.
Hey, Dan, let me tell you something. If you listen to what you preach, you got this, my friend. And I've had that conversation with you, and you know it, that you are one of the most positive people out there, and you do such a great job for other people. Now it's about you. So don't worry about the show. Don't worry, all of us. We got your back. We're going to make sure that it moves forward. You've worked very hard for this, and we'll take care of you, my friend.
Thank you. Well, I think we've all worked hard for it. You know, even the audience, they work hard to be here, right? There's other things going on. I'm sure everyone watching and listening right now, their emails are going ding, 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 ding. And what are they doing? They're still listening. You know,
yes.
So Chad says, and I can't forget the amazing things I learned from tuning in here. Thank you. Thank you. Lisa says, Chad, we are with you, Dan. Thank you. You're not alone. And Maggie comes in. Thank you, Maggie. Appreciate it. Here for you, brother. Thank you. And yeah, just another little adversity. As my wife says, it's just a blip in the road. We're going to get through it.
That's it.
I love you, honey.
That's it.
You're my soulmate. I love you. All right, DJ, what do we got to take us out of here? Sorry to do a change, but I've got a doctor's appointment in 28 minutes. And I just realized that now when the whole thing went ding, I'm like, oh, God, another.
Oh, Dan, you have to make it all about you.
Dan, my sales Yoda, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for everything you have brought to the show and everything you have. We're going to keep it going.
And thank you,
the
DJ.
audience, everybody. Jeff, thank you. But yeah, it's been amazing. It's been a journey, so I can't thank you enough, my friend. So, but yeah.
So hold on. Sorry. Mark, your week review. Give her.
No, listen. We'll do it next week.
You're on a sales call and you say, "Hey, Dan, I can do this." Go.
No. Honestly, like, for those that are watching, at some stage we'll give it like a 90-second currency update. Why is that important? Well, because if any of you are moving product from A to B and that product has started overseas or is going overseas, then currency rates are going to be affecting your client and how much they buy and when they buy it. So going forward, we'll see if we can do like a 90-second roundup on where the markets are going. But the short comment is the dollar is just massively strong at the moment, and it's going to continue that way certainly for the next couple of months as the Fed looks to increase interest rates. So we'll dive into that a little bit next time.
Sweet.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, DJ, can you take us out of
All
here?
right. Well, hey, thank you everybody as always for joining us weekly, daily, starting your day right with us. Sales Chatter Live. 9 a.m. till 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Start your day right here with our man Dan, the Sales Yoda, and just change your lives. Change your lives. Quote to take us out, Dan. I think you like this one, especially since you stressed on. This quote I've been saving for a little bit, but so W. Clement Stone. Thinking will not overcome fear, but action will.
Centurion Trucking, our motto is people before profit. Today's market requires more transparency, consistency, and focus on what our clients need to win. Centurion Trucking and American Logistics are poised to help their clients achieve and surpass their targets. If you're looking for a team that honors your needs, dreams, and aspirations, then get a hold of Daman at American